People, instead of going to Google, now they're going to AI and asking questions. Earlier it used to be they're going to Google and searching whatever they want to search, but now they're going to AI and asking questions and they're getting responses. How is it changing the entire paradigm of searches it used to happen?
You have to make your content answer ready. Okay, you cannot do keyword optimized website or content. You have to be answer optimized website or content, right?
So how is it impacting B2B marketers or B2B space?
If I say that 67% of the content is coming from forums and YouTube and LinkedIn, etc., which means that only 33% content is being shown from the websites.
So are we relying too much on AI? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. We ask something ChatGPT, we get the result, and we just believe that the result that we have got is true, right? It's right. So are we relying too much on AI for the result they are giving, or people are literally authenticating the information? People, instead of going to Google, now they're going to AI and asking questions. Earlier it used to be they are going to Google and searching whatever they want to search, but now they are going to AI and asking questions and they're getting responses. How is it changing the entire paradigm of searches it used to happen?
So, Sudhanshu, I'll kind of beg to differ here. I don't think people are abandoning Google in favor of AI, at least at this point in time. So I still think that a large chunk of searchers are still on Google, and ChatGPTs and other generative engines share in terms of search is still minuscule. And there's a reason for that. The kind of information that Google has, the volume of information that Google has, along with their capability to prioritize this information and rank as per hundreds of contextual parameters. So this combination of ability is still not there with generative engines. And overall their share of search is still low. Having said that, I agree that with the advent of AI, search is getting transformed. The way we do search today is getting transformed. The search experience is becoming much more meaningful. It's becoming faster nowadays because of AI. And we also need to see it from various perspectives. Right? There was a time when people used to go to Google, search with a keyword, look at all the results, click on some of them, then come back, refine their search with another keyword, and this process used to go on. So that was a tedious process. It also used to take time before you could get hold of the information that you actually wanted, right? Plus, a lot of information that Google used to serve was not in a sequential format. The way you wanted or your thought process is mapped, that's not the way Google was serving the information to you, right? With the advent of AI, what has happened is that Google or let's say generative engines also, they are compiling a lot of information for you and curating and serving it to you, right? Along with the citations or the links as well. So that makes your search experience much better. You at a glance know the entire landscape of what you wanted to understand. Then you can choose one of the links if at all you want to dig deeper and go to that website. You can do that as well. And hence the entire process becomes much more easier, much more satisfying, faster at the same time. And it also helps you shape your thought process. Right. So, for example, today you have two ways in which you experience search. One is the curation experience, where you get a summary of everything, right, in the AI overview. The second experience is in the form of conversational experience. Right? If you go to ChatGPT or the AI mode or Perplexity, etc., you would ask a question and you would get an answer in the form of a result. And that answer is also summarized compilation of multiple set of information along with citation links. Now that when you consume that information, you know what is the next question you have to ask. right? So it's shaping your thought process. So you ask the next question, then you consume the answers. You ask the third question after that. Your entire funneling of thought process is now happening here, which was not happening earlier. Right? So that is how search is in one way transforming in terms of making it more meaningful, satisfying, faster, and giving you multiple options of experiencing. Right? But still, Google is by far the largest search engine because of the legitimate ways in which they have compiled or collected that information or accessed that information. So generative search engines, I think they take some more time before they can catch up to Google. I'm not saying they will not, but at this point in time, this is the reality.
So are we relying too much on AI? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. We ask something ChatGPT, we get the result, and we just believe that the result that we have got is true, right? It's right. So are we relying too much on AI for the result they are giving, or people are literally authenticating the information?
So there is some truth in the question that you've asked. Right? What we are seeing here is that there are two ways in which searches are happening. One type of search is top of the funnel search, where a user does not need in-depth information. They would say which are the top 10 cars launched in this month, for example, and they're happy with the list that is being provided to them. These kind of searches do not have much of an impact on decision making, especially in enterprise marketing or enterprise buying. Right? But they essentially give you the user a gist of snippets of information or factual information, for example. The second type of searches that we do is largely the middle funnel search, where we would want to understand more deeper nuances of around a certain category. Right. For example, if I were to buy a CRM software for my company, then I would need to, in the middle funnel, I would need to understand what is the ROI for CRM for a certain type of or a size of a company in a certain industry with a certain focus, right? Like for example, what is the ROI of a CRM in an automotive company where the focus is on privacy, right? And which is a kind of a medium business with around 500 people. Now that kind of research will need a lot of fact check. So whenever there is a serious buying research happening, people will not be contented with just the search results or just what the AI is answering them. They will do their fact checks, right? They also need to. What's happening here, interestingly, is that the search is also transformed, right? Earlier there were search results which were sourced largely from the websites content or large news websites or Wikipedia, for example. But now with AI is actually mining information from a lot of long tail websites where the content is endorsed by the public. Okay, much more trustworthy in one sense, but also long tail. So, for example, today, whatever information we see in the AI overview or even by the generative engines, 65% or 67% of that data comes from Twitter, Reddit, LinkedIn, YouTube, Medium, Wikipedia, and other such content websites. Correct? So, which essentially, why is it happening? Because for the B2B buyer, they would want to go deeper into researching a certain subject. That is one. Second, they would want to know the nuances of individual users also, or individual decision makers as well. Where do they get that information from? They get that information from forums, Reddit or Quora, and so on. They would want to have a deeper understanding. Where do they get that? They get it from YouTube, right? They need to get a CXO perspective. They get it from LinkedIn. So all this information, which was so far kind of unfathomable in Google search, it was not easily discoverable. Now that set of information is starting to get discovered in AI overview or generative engine search, right? So that's how search is also transformed. That is how it is allowing you to discover long tail content, hidden content, which is important for you, and also allows you to click and access that content, to validate that content.
Content which is generally pushed by the user,
Endorsed by the user.
endorsed by the user.
Ah.
Right, right.
endorsed by the user, it's relevant for the questions that you have asked, and was so far hidden, was not able to surface. Now it's getting discoverable. Okay. And along with the citation links, so the AI overview and generative engines give you the citation link because they want you to discover and validate yourself. And you will do that whenever you're in the middle of the funnel. Top of the funnel, you may not. Right? That's how it is.
Once you keep on searching, you'll start getting all the things.
You start getting. Exactly.
So how is it impacting B2B marketers or B2B space?
So we have understood how it's impacting the B2B buyers.
Yeah.
The way they search, that has transformed now. When it comes to marketers, see what used to happen earlier. As marketers, we used to optimize our content and our website on keywords. Right. For example, if I am selling the same example, if I am selling software, CRM software, I would try and optimize for CRM software or best CRM software, right? But now with AI, things have changed. So AI says that, or what we understand from the AI, is that now you have to make your content answer ready. Okay? You cannot do keyword optimized website or content, you have to be answer optimized website or content, right? It's no longer about SEO. SEO is also getting transformed. So SEO doesn't make much of a sense right now. But answer engine optimization, for example, or content discovery optimization is something that they need to be aware of. So people are asking questions now instead of keywords, and they expect answers. So if your content is written in a Q&A format on the website, number one, and if your content has enough depth, so it's not just about CRM software, it's about CRM software for a certain industry, for certain personas, for certain pain points, for certain outcomes. Your content has to cover all these areas and hence become much more in-depth now, right? That's one point. Second point, we understand that AI overview or generative engines are indexing more content from outside the website. If I say that 67% of the content is coming from forums and YouTube and LinkedIn, etc., which means that only 33% content is being shown from the websites. Right? So website content suddenly is not so much important. As marketing decision makers in B2B brands, you need to now create content which is multi-touch point friendly or multi-format. So you need to create videos, you need to create blogs and articles, you need to write on LinkedIn, you need to create question and answers, you need to seed answers or answer the questions which are there on forums, right, and so on. So you need to be ready for multi-touch content. Number two, you need to have content which is more answer friendly, right, and you need to also follow a lot of 20 different best practices to make your content more AI friendly as well, citation friendly as well, right? So marketers have to understand that they are now responsible for anticipating the questions and creating content in such a way that it comes out as an answer to certain questions which are there in the minds of people. So what it also means is that instead of earlier when we used to do keyword research, now we need to do prompt research, right? And we need to do answer research. We need to anticipate what answer AI is going to give. And hence, how does my content, be included in those answers? So marketers have to think in these 3-4 different ways. In-depth content, answer-ready content, prompt research, AI answer research, and other best practices to make my content more answer-friendly for different stages of buying.
So, is there any possibility, like directly or indirectly, is there any possibility brands or businesses can feed data to AI?
Feed data to AI? That's a good question. That's a good question because see, AI does not create its own data. Okay. So where does the AI get its data from? AI gets the data from what you are producing, what you are creating, what I am creating, right? That's the content which is shaping the AI answer. right? So obviously, the more content you create and the more quality content you create, the more your chances of shaping the AI answer, correct? So when AI is citing answers, they are citing answers because they found some information on your website or on other touch points where you've amplified it and distributed the information. It found the information much more valuable and it cited that information. So the mandate for marketing heads in B2B is to create content at a much faster scale. You can't be happy with creating 4 blogs in a month. You need to work on 50 or 100 blogs in a quarter now because you're shaping the answers, shaping the narrative of the AI, right? You need to dominate that citation volume here. And number two, you need to think how the researcher or the consumer is thinking, not in the form of keywords. So both you and I, also as users or as marketers, we don't think in keywords. We think in answers. We think in questions, right? We were afraid of putting questions in Google so far because if you were to put a question on Google, then Google has a combination of multiple keywords and then produce the result for you, which may not be relevant. So we were afraid. We were not confident to put questions on Google. We would rather go to forums and put the questions there. Correct? But things have changed with AI. Now I can confidently put my question on Google and hope to get a more valid set of responses.
It also gives you a great response as well.
That's the AI overview,
Yeah.
which is nothing but compilation of multiple types of content from different sources, including your website, but largely from third-party platforms, right? So we need to create more content now, more than ever. We need to create more AI-friendly and answer-friendly content, and we need to create content in multiple formats for multi-touch points. That's how we shape the answers.
So I'll tell you, I'll give you a differentiation how people are optimizing content nowadays. Say for example, someone searched Sudhanshu Malik on Google, so it will give you like 4 or 5 profiles. Now whosoever has seen my face, that person will click on the face. Now the same search, if the same search happened like 5 or 6 times or 10 or 20 times in a month, Google will automatically pick my profile and put it on the top, right? Now similar thing is happening in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, right? Suppose someone search for who is Sudhanshu Malik, ChatGPT will show 5 or 6 profiles. If my profile is there in the replies, in the answers, people will click on it. Whoever knows me will click on it, and all of a sudden you'll start seeing my profile is coming on top in the answers. Is it the way people are nowadays optimizing content on search engines as well as on AI?
No, I think you need to see it differently. Ultimately, both the search engines and B2B brands, they want to serve relevant results to people who are searching something, right? The idea is to enable their decision-making process, to make the decision-making process faster. And which is why we need to think more in the form of what content are we creating for what kind of search. So it's not about getting traffic only or getting ranked, because with AI, ranking has somehow or now becoming kind of taking the back seat in one sense, right? So it's more about citations than ranking. And also it's not so much about traffic on my website. Traffic anyways is decreasing with the coming in of AI. It will further decrease going forward. But the idea is that my brand should get discovered to relevant people and my content should get discovered in the relevant stage of research. These are two primary premises basis which search engines and brands both resolve a certain query, correct? So in that context, what you said was more tactical in nature. It was more keyword and click, very, very tactical. And on a large scale, where people have a certain pain point and they're searching on a large scale, you cannot really game the entire system. That's not possible to do. Right? In certain cases, when you are logged in, then the AI or the search understands your pattern, understands your preferences, and can show you certain results which are more up to your liking, right? But otherwise, in a larger, broader sense, it may not happen. It's very practical in nature in that sense, right? So ultimately, what is happening is as a B2B brand, the question is, am I happy with whatever is happening? Given that the traffic is decreasing and given that the rankings are fluctuating, somehow they have lost the meaning that they used to have earlier. So am I happy with that? And my answer is that yes, we should be happy at this point in time for two reasons. Number one, a lot of traffic that we are losing is the top of the funnel traffic, which means people who are looking at snippets of information for which they did not have to click on a link and go to a website. They could get that information there itself, right? So that's not a very serious traffic, and whatever content they needed to consume, they're consuming it there, which is fine. My second biggest concern is that even if they're not coming to my right website, that's fine, but are they consuming my content wherever they're consuming it? Right? Which is why I need to be present across multiple channels. And I need to create content for that purpose or intent that they have. Right? So, and in the same line, I need to be concerned about citations. Because if my brand is getting cited or mentioned within the AI overview or by Gemini, ChatGPT, etc., then there is a certain trust that I trigger. Right? That is important for me. So as a B2B brand or a marketer, my main concern is that people should trust me and I should get visibility. And third is that my content should get discovered. I am creating so much content, good quality content. Is it getting discovered or not? And I'll tell you what, the chances of your content getting discovered now is much more than what were the chances earlier, without AI. You would hardly get enough traffic on your content out of the website, right? But now you can. Not in the form of traffic on your website, but your content being amplified across and being cited from across, right? So it's a great thing to be in the AI era.
As a marketer, we heavily rely on metrics, like what are the KPIs we had set to measure the traffic, right? Especially in SEO. What is the traffic that is coming in, from where the traffic is coming in, what is the quality of traffic, what time we are getting that traffic. So we have everything that we can track, and basis that we can conceptualize the type of content that we are pushing. We can conceptualize. Now, when AI is in the system, everything is going through AI.
Right.
People getting data through AI, but brands, are they able to track that data, whether the AI is consuming their data to feed people, or do we not have any tracker?
Great. So this space is still evolving, and as we move forward, we'll get more and more tools which will be able to capture more granular details for us. Unfortunately, we have been practicing the same workflow over the last 3 or 4 years with Fortune 1000 companies because we sensed that enterprise B2B marketing cannot be done in a traditional way. It's not the traditional digital marketing, and hence we need to depend upon, right? It's not multiple touch points, multiple format of content at scale, mapping the journey of the buyer. So in one sense, we had some metrics already available with us. But coming back to today, now today what do we do with our clients? We measure on a sample prompt. So let's say if there is a keyword, we generate multiple prompts on those keywords. Right? So one keyword can be translated into multiple questions or prompts. Maybe 50 or 100 questions or prompts can be developed from one keyword alone. Right? For each prompt, there could be multiple answers coming in from multiple platforms, like Gemini, Perplexity, etc., etc. We map this entire thing. So we can tell our clients that look, on a sample of 100 prompts, there were so many answers which we studied, and in so many answers, your brand was mentioned so many times. So brand mention is one metric that we can target for AI, not for general search, right? So these many times your brand was mentioned. Number two, these many times a link to your page was also given, right? And total number of links given in the answer is, let's say 1000, of which your page's links were only 5 or 10 or 100. So that gives us an understanding of what is my penetration percentage in terms of mentions. Out of 100 answers, how many times I was mentioned uniquely. Out of 1000 pages which were mentioned in those 100 answers, how many times my page was mentioned. So I can get a very clear perspective of how AI is indexing us versus competition, right? Then I see in terms of competition, my competition, how much are they getting cited or mentioned as compared to me? And what those areas where they are getting cited, we are not. So that gives me a gap analysis as well. After this, we study between ChatGPT, Perplexity, and let's say Google AI mode or AI overview. What is my percentage of occurrence of mentions or citations in my platform? That also we know, right? And then after that, the typical metrics of people who are coming via organic traffic now they should have much more engagement percentage, even if they're coming by traditional SEO. Because the top of the funnel is being consumed by AI, they will not come to me or not come enough to me, but the middle funnel will come to me. So what is that volume? How much is that their engagement percentage with me? And does this traffic lead to leads or conversions eventually or not? Right? And obviously geography and all those other metrics are also tracked in which ways. So we have robust metrics right now available. There are things are expensive, so not everyone can afford them or use them. But being an AI-driven Martech B2B agency, it's our job to invest into these tools. So we have our own proprietary tools as well as third-party tools, and all of these are used not just in understanding the metrics and KPIs, but also in creation of content as well.
So जब चैट जीपीटी मुझे आंसर दे ही देता है तो मुझे गूगल पे जाके सर्च करना है, वेबसाइट पे जाके ढूंढने की जरूरत ही क्या है?
सी हो क्या रहा है कि जब आप कोई क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, जैसे कि टॉप सीआरएम सॉफ्टवेयर इन इंडिया, ये क्वेश्चन का जवाब आपको चैट जीपीटी, गूगल एआई ओवरव्यू मोड या जेमिनाई, परप्लेक्सिटी से मिलता है, और उसका आंसर के लिए आपको कहीं क्लिक करके जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज वो आपको दे देगा कि ये नंबर 1 पे ये है, नंबर 2 पे ये है, नंबर 3 पे ये है, नंबर 4 पे है। या आपने सोच पूछा कि यार कौन सी 5 नई एसयूवीज आई हैं, तो कौन सी नई एसयूवी लॉन्च हुई इंडिया में, और आपको लिस्ट मिल जाएगी। तो जो आपकी इन्फॉर्मेशन नीड थी वो खत्म हो गई, और आप सही है, उसके लिए आपको साइट पे जाने की जरूरत नहीं है किसी के। लेकिन अगर आपको ये पूछा कि कौन सा सीआरएम सॉफ्टवेयर एक मीडियम साइज कंपनी के लिए जिसमें 500 के करीब एम्प्लॉयज हैं, उसके लिए ज्यादा अच्छा है, और वहां पे जो मेन पेन पॉइंट है वो है प्राइवेसी की, किसी का डेटा लीक ना हो जाए, तो उसके हिसाब से कौन सा अच्छा होगा, ऐसा मुझे कंपैरिजन और रिव्यू चाहिए। ये आंसर आपको एआई नहीं दे सकता, या देगा भी तो आपका जो इंटेंट है वो फुलफिल नहीं होगा, वहां पे
आपकी रिसर्च इन्वॉल्व होगी,
इस पर क्लिक करके जाना ही पड़ेगा वो देखने के लिए कि भाई क्या क्या चीजें हैं, राइट। फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको एक क्वेश्चन पूछा कि स्टील कैसे बेंड होता है, एआई आपको बता देगा प्रोसेस, लेकिन उसमें वो एआई आपको लिंक भी देता है, साइटेशन लिंक्स, तो आप क्लिक करके देखना चाहोगे कि यार फैक्ट्री में कैसे बेंड हो रहा है, वीडियो देखना है मुझे, और मुझे ये भी देखना है कि इंडिविजुअल एक्सपर्ट्स जो है वो क्या बोल रहे हैं इसके अंदर। सो आई विल क्लिक ऑन दैट लिंक, मैं उस लिंक पे क्लिक करूंगा, जाके देखूंगा कि एक्सपर्ट्स क्या बोल रहे हैं इंडिविजुअली, यूट्यूब में देखूंगा कि वीडियोज में कैसे दिखा रहे हैं बेंडिंग का प्रोसेस, डिफरेंट फैक्टरीज के वीडियो होंगे तो मैं सबका देखना चाहूंगा कि सबके प्रोसेस अलग हो सकता है, राइट, तो वो सब देखना चाहूंगा। तो वहां पे सिर्फ एआई के आंसर से मेरा काम नहीं चलेगा, राइट, विच इज वाई तभी हम कहते हैं कि टॉप ऑफ द फनल रिसर्च जो है, यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए, उसके लिए आप वेबसाइट पे जाना बंद कर देंगे, दैट इज करेक्ट, वो सही बात है। लेकिन अगर यहाँ आपको डिटेल इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए डीप, उसके लिए आपको या तो वेबसाइट पे जाना पड़ेगा लिंक पे क्लिक करके, या फिर थर्ड पार्टी प्लेटफॉर्म पे, यूट्यूब पे, कोरा पे, रेडिट पे, या और फोरम्स पे जाके आपको कंज्यूम करना पड़ेगा इन्फॉर्मेशन।
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sudhanshu.
We shot the second episode of Cafe B2B series, and you're full of knowledge. What's your references?
You asked me last time also.
Last time I know.
So I think if you are aware, if you are curious, you will read a lot of information, right? And there are enough experts, enough set of knowledge that one can consume. So that's it.
What is the involvement of AI in your life?
A lot. Our whole agency is now AI powered, right? From research to content creation to fact checks, to video creation, creating workflows for demand generation, persona finding. Everything is done by through AI now.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure, Sudhanshu. Thank you.